Hi, I'm Kathy Espinoza. Welcome back to our series on working safely and comfortably from home. Today we're going to look at the keyboard and the mouse and how to find comfort in where we place them. We've got a dedicated area, whether it's a kitchen table or the kitchen counter. Wherever your keyboard is, I want you to raise your chair or lower your chair to where you're sitting and working with your elbows level with the space bar of that keyboard. This means your forearms are parallel to the floor and your upper arm is right by your side, shoulders relaxed. Okay? It's easy to do that if you've got a height adjustable chair, but for those of us that don't, and you're sitting on a dining room chair, no problem. Take a blanket, like the picture on the far side there, fold it up. I've raised up my height by 6 inches. And now you can see in that picture, my elbows are right at the area where I've got my keyboard, right at the desk surface height. Another few tips that I want to go over on the keyboard is don't get in the habit of pushing that keyboard forward and working with your elbows out in front of you. The farther away your elbows get from that midline center of your body, the more shoulder tension you're going to feel. So relax your shoulders, elbows right by your side, and work there. Another one, I bet you didn't know you had feet on the back side of your keyboard. Our goal when we're working on that keyboard is to keep our wrist in a straight and neutral position as possible. When you put the feet up on the back side of the keyboard, it forces you to work all day with your wrist in an awkward position, and that's not comfortable. Finally, a word about carpal tunnel pads. A lot of people have them and use them incorrectly. If we plop our hands down on a carpal tunnel pad and work 8 hours a day, that's an awful lot of time and pressure on the wrist and hand area, and that can be uncomfortable after a while. So use them when you have stopped. So float your fingers over that keyboard, put them on the carpal tunnel pad when you're resting. Another time you can use them is if you look down at the table that you're sitting on and there's a very sharp edge. Sometimes that creates a contact stress right there in that wrist area. So putting a carpal tunnel pad along the edge of the table will help soften some of that and make that a little more comfortable. Now let's talk about laptops. Many of us that use them realize that the keyboard on a laptop is squished in, and that creates for an awful lot of stress and strain. So using a laptop for less than 30 minutes a day isn't going to be a problem. A better solution if you're going to be working on one for 8 hours a day is to get an external keyboard and an external mouse. We all used to have desktops sitting around our house for years and years. So you may have an extra full keyboard and an extra mouse. Raise your laptop up to where the monitor is up there where it's supposed to be, about eye level. Plug in that external keyboard and external mouse, and you've created a very comfortable workstation area for you from home. And finally, a few tips on the mouse. Okay, many of us use a travel mouse because we're out and about, whether it's at a coffee shop or traveling, and it's a smaller, lightweight device that works short periods of time. If we're working 8 hours a day on a mouse that's too small for us, that can be uncomfortable. So find one that fits you and the shape and the size of your hands. Another one for mouse comfort is don't reach forward for that mouse. Again, the farther away your arm comes from the midline of your body, the more tension you're going to feel in this upper shoulder, down the arm area. So keep your arm and your elbows right by your side. Keep the mouse and the keyboard on the same level, same height, close to you, and that will increase your comfort when you're working from home. I hope those tips helped you, and thanks for joining us today, and I will see you next time.